Alright, second recording. I figure an hour is long enough. It's nice that Arthmore left the spider boss intact to fight. Wait, I thought, wasn't there an adult frostbite spider in here? I thought there was. Maybe that was just in Bleak Falls Barrow. I'm gonna have to get up and take a meal break in a bit. I should have done that already and just ended the recording and then started this one after, but I realized I shouldn't press my luck and risk losing all of that I just said in case there is another power surge or a freak accident and everything goes out, the Xbox, the TV, computer, and I lose all this data that I've been recording to entertain all of you good folks on wherever you're watching this from. Wherever you choose to watch from. Which I'm going to assume probably YouTube, because that's where this will be uploaded to. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't recorded any more stuff for the Autumnal Dunmer on YouTube because I just felt zero desire to do it. I told myself, I'm going to do it when I want to do it, when I feel like it. I'm not going to force myself to do anything anymore. And I've been a lot happier since then. Well, I am forcing myself to do things I need to do. But as far as, like, forcing myself to do things that, like, other people would like, which I know that sounds kind of, like, selfish. I mean, like, I'm not going to force myself out of my comfort zone to do something I'm not going to profit off of on something like YouTube, where they're going to make all the money. I'm not going to see any of that. I'm going to do it when I want to do it. I'm going to do it to have fun. Like what I'm doing right now. I'm having fun. The reason why Skyrim is so successful more than a decade later is because it just has that je ne sais quoi, you know? Besides, Arthmore hasn't updated this with like AI, you know, because this mod did have an update. I don't know what the update included, but I'm surprised he didn't update it with like UI, like AI voices for Hadvar and Rayloff. Yeah, sure, I'll give you all of my potions. People still talk about that till this day. What keeps bringing people back to Skyrim? And people will almost always say it's the mods. I think the mods, yes, but I think that's only a small bit of it. The thing is, Dragon Age Origins is a great game. Mods only take it so far, though. There's no post-game content. Awakening is a brand new campaign in a completely different area.
Looks like he's gone for good this time. But I don't think we should stick around to see if he comes back. Closest town from here is Riverwood. My uncle's the blacksmith there. I'm sure he'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up. Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
All that training went for naught. You got saved by a prisoner who was going to be executed for no fucking reason, by the way.
Listen, you should go to Solitude and join up with the Imperial Legion. could really use someone like you. And if the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them.
Yeah, the Stormcloak's got a dragon, not the Thalmor.
Come on. Of course. I know today wasn't the best introduction to the Legion, but I hope you'll give us another chance. The Legion could really use someone like you, especially now. And if the rebels have themselves a dragon, General Tullius is the only one who can stop them. I don't blame you for being angry about it. I would be too in your shoes. But it was all a mistake. You weren't supposed to be on that cart with those Stormcloak traitors. And the Imperial Legion needs your help, especially now with that dragon out there somewhere and Ulfric back on the loose. I hope so. The Legion is Skyrim's only hope right now. Come on, we better get moving.
Wait, I thought you just said that we should split up. Also, I do have a disease that I need to cure at some point. I'm not sure what disease it is. The status, the misc... It doesn't say what disease I contracted, though. You know what would be nice if there was a thing on it that says, like, what ones?
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. When I was a boy, that place always used to give me nightmares.
And that's where Alduin disappeared around, but he actually went to Skadolfin.
I admit, I still don't much like the look of it.
Contrary to popular belief, Alduin is not in Bleak Falls Barrow. He is in Skudolfin.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones, though, in Skyrim's landscape. Go ahead, see for yourself. Mage, eh? Well, to each his own. It's not for me to judge.
Don't try to sound so disappointed. So yeah, we'll continue to follow him to Riverwood and continue to get more of this tutorial quest, because that's what it is, completed and out of the way. What time is it? 2 p.m. I love this rainfall in Skyrim.
I'm glad you decided to come with me. We're almost to River.
You know, original Xbox One still holds up, looks good. Especially for a game that, even updated with Anniversary Edition, still looks like an old game. It looks good with mods. I realize that Series X has the most powerful processor, I believe, the best engine hardware built in to handle that stuff. But here's the thing. I'm not going to upgrade to a brand new console just to play the same shit.
Things look quiet enough here. Come on, there's my uncle.
Dragon! I saw a dragon!
It's the same reason why I'm not going to get a PS5 just to play Final Fantasy VII.
It was as big as the mountain and black as
Uncle
night.
Humber, hello.
It flew right over the barrow.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy.
Sure.
And I've got better things to do than
What
this.
happened?
And I've got better things to do than call up the people at
Shh, Uncle, please.
Shady Pines.
Keep your voice down. I'm fine, but we should go inside to talk.
What's going
You'll
on?
believe me when you're a
Who's
corpse.
this?
He's a friend. Saved my life, in fact. Come on, I'll explain everything, but we need to go inside.
Okay, come inside then. Sigrid will get you something to eat, and you can tell me all about it.
Speaking of which, I'm going to grab a snack real quick. Put this down. Okay. Back to our walking simulator. It's your own house. You can go in anytime. Thank you.
Sigrid, we have company.
The Havoc engine. It's still running off of that decades-old fucking Havoc engine.
I'm so worried about you. Come, you two must be hungry. Sit down and I'll get you something to eat.
Of course, it wasn't decades old by the time Skyrim came
What's
out.
the big mystery?
The original
What are
Skyrim.
you doing here looking like you lost an argument with a king?
By the time Special Edition came out,
Don't know where to start.
Morrowind wasn't
You
even
know I
20
was
years
assigned
old
to
yet.
tell Tullius' skull. We were stopped in Helm when we were attacked by a dragon.
A dragon? That's ridiculous. You aren't drunk, are you, boy?
Husband, let him tell his story.
Not much more to tell. This dragon flew over and just wrecked the whole place. Mass confusion. I don't know if anyone else got out alive. I doubt I made it out myself if not for my friend here. I need to get back to Solitude and let them know what's happened. I thought you could help us out. Food, supplies, a place to stay.
Yeah, so
Of course.
Skyrim
Any
came
friend
out,
of Hadvar's
was
is a
9
friend
years
of
since
mine.
Morrowind.
I'm glad to help however I can.
Barely a decade. Only 9
Like I
years.
said, I'm glad to help in any way I can. But I need your help. We need your help.
So, by the time Special Edition came out, it was only a few years older. It was just barely over a decade. And then it was almost 20 years when Anniversary came out. It was 2021.
The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever soldiers he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt. Cross the river and then head north. You'll see it just past the falls. When you get to Whiterun, just keep going up. When you get to the top of the hill, you're at Dragon's Reach, the Jarl's palace. Jarl Balgruuf, he rules Whiterun Hold. A good man, perhaps a bit overcautious, but these are dangerous times. So far, he's managed to stay out of the war. I'm afraid it can't last, though. I don't think he likes either Ulfric or Elisif much. Who can blame him? But I've no doubt he'll prove loyal to the Empire in the end. He's no traitor. Of course, Skyrim has always been part of the Empire. That doesn't mean I support everything the Empire's been doing lately. But Nords have never been fair-weather friends. Ah, I forget you're new to Skyrim. Jarl Elisif, I should say. Although only because she was married to Jarl Torik when he was murdered. Ulfric murdered Torik, you know. Walked right into his palace in Solitude, killed him. Shouted him to death, if you believe the stories. That's what started this whole war. The Empire couldn't ignore that. Once the Jarls start killing each other, we're back to the bad old days.
The bad old days like Elder Scrolls Online.
I see no harm in it, if you have the skill. The grindstone will improve your weapons. Use the table to improve your armor. If you've got the raw materials, you can use the forge to make something new. Gerder's family first settled here as woodcutters a few generations ago. She and Hod run the mill. I make a decent living sharpening axes and fixing the sawmill. People are rightly stirred up about the damn Dalmor being allowed to roam around arresting people, just for worshipping Talos. But was it worth tearing Skyrim apart and maybe destroying the Empire? No. Ulfric will have a lot to answer for in the end. Nords have always supported the Empire, and the Empire has always been good for Skyrim. It's from that treaty that ended the Great War, remember? When the Emperor was forced by the Dalmor to outlaw Talos worship. We didn't pay much attention to it when I was a boy. Everyone still had their little shrine to Talos. But then, Ulfric and his Sons of Skyrim started agitating about it. Sure enough, the Emperor had to crack down, dragging people off in the middle of the night. One of the main causes of this war.
Yeah, things became downright Anne Frank, you know?
Did you really see a dragon? What did it look like?
Alright, I need to do something real quick. I don't mean to turn this into a mukbang video.
Well,
Don't pester your cousin.
it's nice to be back in a friendly spot, huh? Listen, I'm going to lay up here for a while. You can make your own way to Solitude from here. I'd recommend heading to Whiterun, just down the road from here. From there you can take a carriage to Solitude. Just head north, you can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold, the biggest and the best of the 9 holds of Skyrim. But don't take my word for it.
The biggest in Skyrim. Bigger than Markarth. Bigger than Solitude. Bigger than Windhome. Bigger than Riverwood. Or Riften, I mean.
So did I. If the damn Stormcloak somehow found one, or woke it up, the war might be about to take an ugly turn. Hard to believe it was just a coincidence. That the first dragon anyone's seen for centuries attacks just as Ulfric was about to be executed. General Tullius has his headquarters in Castle Dowl, in the city of Solitude, northwest of here. You'll want to talk to Legate Ricka. She deals with the new recruits. I'll be sure to put in a good word for you if I get back to Solitude first. I guess that wasn't such a big deal elsewhere in the Empire, but here it's caused a lot of resentment. Native son and all that. Even I'll admit it hasn't been the Empire's finest hour. But it wasn't like the Emperor had any choice, did he? If he hadn't signed the peace treaty with the Thalmor, they would have destroyed the Empire. And where would Skyrim be? That's the part that Ulfric's supporters always conveniently forget about. Unless the Empire stands together, the Thalmor will destroy us all. Be careful on the way to Solitude. Damn Stormcloaks could be anywhere.
So you're saying you don't like the Thalmor? Could you say that a bit closer into my little rose? Oh, it's totally not a microphone. It's definitely not. I'm a dark elf. Why would I ally with the Altmer, with the Thalmor? Come on. So this second stream has been going for 24 minutes. And I just want to clear something up about the Autumnal Dunmer run. It's a conduct run. Carried over from the last playthrough I did. As I was saying, I had deleted it basically because I was not enjoying the Caves of Morrowind mod. I can say unbiasedly, though, It's a well done mod. It's well put together. It's not for me. It's a bit too tanky. The enemies, way too many clusters of bosses. I assume... Now, I'm just assuming that that's like, the hell? I'm not a lefty, I'm a righty. Now, I'm just assuming that's like Souls-like, because I've seen a lot of videos, a gameplay of Dark Souls type content, and it's a lot like that, the combat. Being flanked, tons of tanky enemies, and blah blah blah. The thing is, Skyrim isn't really built to handle that. And like when I say that, when people say, oh, mods are what carries Skyrim, I think there has to be something in it before that that adds to that equation that makes it so like chef kiss. That's like, oh, why are people still coming back to a decade plus later? Because it just has that, the gameplay is good on its own. The environment is excellent on its own. Even if I wasn't using custom music, the built-in game music is perfect. But I love Oblivion and Morrowind's soundtrack too much to ever default back to default Skyrim. And, yeah. So I've been playing for almost 2 hours. And knock on wood, it's been great. You know, I was actually going to deactivate. I was not going to load the new game with any of these Eleonora CC club content housing mods because I never used them. And they just, to me, I think they're a waste of time and space, and they just take up clutter in my quest log, because the only thing they're good for me is just it's another location to fast travel to on the map. That's basically it. You know, I have a perfectly quaint hunter's house, treehouse, just here in Whiterun Hold in Riverwood that I can use. I have my White River Dunmer style Morrowind house near Windhelm that I can use. There's literally no reason for me to use any of the CC content housing mods unless it was something like, OMG, it's the houses from Oblivion or Morrowind put into Skyrim, which none of them, of course, are. They're always over the fucking top. There's truth to that saying less is more. Because I think Eleonora is one of those ones who's like a repeat offender, where she puts like everything in a house and just goes like over the top with putting stuff in there, you know? Staff enchanter, and then this, and then that, and then blah 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 blah, and to me it's just kind of like, I'd rather just have a cozy, quaint little house, you know? That's just my opinion. But yeah, this was restarted twice. The initial time I did not upload because I didn't record it. I didn't record any of that stuff the second time. The second time deleting. Or the first time deleting.
Mother, my poor mother. Unmoving. Helpless. But too still. Oh, poor Cicero is stuck. Can't you see? I was transporting my dear, sweet mother. Well, not her. Her corpse. She's quite dead. I'm taking Mother to a new home, a new crypt, but... Ah! biggest wagon wheel. It broke. Don't you see? Oh, yes! Yes, the kindly stranger can certainly help. Go to the farm, the Lorius farm, just over there, off the road. Talk to Lorius. He has tools. He can help me, but he won't. He refuses. Convince Lorius to fix my wheel. Do that, and poor Cicero will reward you with coin. Gleamy, shiny coin.
See, what I don't understand is I'm pretty sure that this is in Whiterun Hold. I'm pretty sure that this is in Whiterun Hold. Yet there's a Pale Guard. Now, if you know the Pale, that's basically Dawnstar and the little places within. There's not that much stuff there. So it's just kind of funny to picture a guard walking all the way down from Dawnstar down to this little cranny here in Whiterun Hold.
Oh, for the love of Mara, what now? That Cicero fella? Huh, tell me something I don't know. Crazy fool's already asked me about 5 times. Seems he's not satisfied with my answer. Why can't he just leave us alone? Pay me? You think this is about money? Have you seen the man? He's completely out of his head. A jester here in Skyrim? Ain't been a merry man in these parts for 100 years. And he's transporting some giant box. Says it's a coffin, and he's going to bury his mother. Mother, my eye. You could have anything in there. War contraband, weapons, skooma. Ain't no way I'm getting involved in any of that. What? And just who in Mara's name are you, anyway? Hmm? Come here, telling me my business. And for what? To help a fool? Look, yes, you're right. Fella might be nutters, might not. The fact is, he needs help. I turned him away. What kind of a man am I, huh? Look, thanks. And I'm sorry for my unneighborly reaction. If you talk to Cicero, you be sure to tell him I'll be down to help soon.
Daedric Katana from X2Do Daedric Replacer mod, I believe. Although it doesn't really look like a katana because the way it's curved looks more like a scimitar, and with the length of the hilt makes it look like a naginata.
Poor mother. Her home seems so very far. You did? He has? Oh, stranger! You have made Cicero so happy, so jubilant and ecstatic, but more, even more, my mother thanks you. Here for your troubles, shiny, clinky gold, a few coins for your kind deed, and thank you again.
Now we gotta go to Whiterun, the city, town, or whatever. See, the game doesn't really do a good job of like differentiating between cities, towns, and hamlets and villages. I think that Morrowind and Oblivion did that fairly well. Daggerfall would just kind of say, oh, it's a small hamlet in, you know, Daggerfall province or whatever, but it would be like huge. It would have like 3 taverns and then a guild and a chapel and whatever. Well, I decided to start recording because I wasn't really feeling the Skyrim itch, but I was curious about this latest update, and it looks like it pretty much did what the first one was supposed to do. Now, I'm more forgiving of the devs than a lot of people are, who I wonder if they aren't just like preteen kids screaming on the internet, or adult people who have nothing outside of escapism. I don't know. Like, troubleshooting coding, especially if it's spaghetti code, can take ages to do. And I'm honestly surprised they produced an effective patch that works so far so good in so little time. Because I thought it wasn't going to come out until February. Now, if you remember, the last update was like November. It was like Thanksgiving, I think, around that time. So we've had pretty much a solid month and a half before the second update. That's how long it took for them to research it, troubleshoot, isolate the problem, fix it, etc. People forget that it's not like, oh, you just snap your fingers, blah, blah, blah. And people also forget that the update...
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah. People forget that the whole point of this is the next gen, like, releases of Bethesda. So, Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, the purported Fallout 3 and Oblivion remasters. I'm sure those will also get console releases, and I'm sure they will also have built-in mod support.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers.
We'll be seeing people now playing Fallout 3 and Oblivion again. Hopefully New Vegas gets the same treatment. I would love to be able to experience New Vegas on console with mods. I would love to be able to see people enjoying that for the first time. Because it is a different experience playing it on console from playing on PC. Because if the game works, like it just works, and if you have a good, perfect working load order, and you're playing on console with mods, it's pretty much like playing extra content on the vanilla game. You don't have all these background programs like on the PC, Avast, Malwarebytes, Steam, whatever, running. You don't have that on console. That's why I prefer retro gaming.
Nothing?
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgruth is not receiving visitors.
Who's this then?
As House Carl, my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the Jarl or his people. So you have my attention. Now, whatever you have to say to the Jarl, you can say to me. I'm starting to think...
I want to hear what he has to say. What's this about Riverwood being in danger? Alvor? The smith, isn't he? Reliable, solid fellow. Not prone to flights of fancy. And you're sure Helgen was destroyed by a dragon? This wasn't some Stormcloak raid gone wrong? By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once.
And this is the Whiterun Guard armor.
Danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains.
It's a bit too imperialistic for my tastes.
View that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not.
I'll not stand idly by while a dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
This is almost like me playing Skyrim for the first time. I mean, not really, but almost every new load order makes me feel like it's my first time all over again.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your...
Farengar, I think I found a patsy.
Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords, perhaps dating back to the Dragon War itself. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's near Riverwood, a miserable little village a few miles south of here.
A miserable little
I'm sure
village.
Some locals can point you in the right direction once you get there. Well, must preserve some professional secrets, mustn't we? I have my sources. Reliable sources. I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. Even I used to think it was just a myth. But not anymore.
You're carrying too much to
Dragon
run!
War was a real event, although only the barest glimmer of the actual events has come down to us. Far back in the Mythic era, the dragons were worshipped as gods in Skyrim. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed, of course, but many survived into historical times. Why, this very palace was built by one of Balgruf's ancestors to hold a captive dragon. hence its name, Dragon's Reach. I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking, of course. The city is also home to a priest, priestess, an alchemist, and I'm sure others who practice. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some frost salts for Arcadia. She asked me to obtain them from one of her potions. Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? I'm sure Arcadia will provide some form of recompense.
No, that's just like Daggerfall.
Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task.
Huh.
A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at the College of Winterhold.
Now, note, this character is only level 2.
If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart enough to know what I meant? Probably not. As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research, I don't care who gives the orders. Now, I'm a busy man, and your pointless questions are boring me terribly. Good day.
No, I have more questions.
I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow. I'll put it simply, so you'll understand. I advise the Jarl in matters of magic. If the whole is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, I am called upon to explain things and suggest a course of action. Hopefully that answer will satisfy you. Good day. Of course, Jarl.
I'm not done yet.
You seem to have found me in a... Sadly, no. My work affords me few opportunities for such an adventure. Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf one I once did. What a fascinating conversation that would be. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then use the arcane enchanter to learn its secrets. The item is destroyed in the process, so be wary. Once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul gem and something to enchant. You'll use the arcane enchanter for that too. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you have the coin.
Okay.
I'm sure he will prove
we'll have to handle that little tutorial thing later.
You'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
So we're gonna go ahead and take this book here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put all of our books in here. What I think would be really cool is if the game had like faction clothing like New Vegas does, and that people would react really negatively, like hostilely towards you for approaching them in Stormcloak armor like I am. Like this doesn't look like because it's a mod, but this is actually the Stormcloak armor, a variation of it. So as part of my conduct run, I will be communing with the 3 Good Daedra. So that's Azura, Boethiah, and Mephala. Hang on one sec. I want to try something. Let me pause this. Well, I erroneously believed that I could switch the seats from my new chair with my old chair, and my headset became tangled into my Xbox controller, so I had to go ahead and disconnect that. We, of course, will be doing the Morrowind-related content there on Solstheim. I mean, it could be a spoiler for new people, but I mean, it's Skyrim. Nothing is really a spoiler in this game. I'm not going into this game blind. There are some of the CC content I have not done. I don't think I've ever seen her outside of the...
Are you feeling sick? My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
And of course she's closed. I guess I'll just loiter. Because remember, I do have a disease, a random disease that I contracted from those wolves.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, how do you feel? I think you might be sick. Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on. A love elixir like none other. Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first. Oh, but I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice.
Oh, goody.
As long as you clean up. You know how to use it, right? Mix a couple of ingredients together, see what happens. A little wheat and blisterwort makes a healing potion, if you didn't know. We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too. Ah, so you're an alchemist, then?
I'm more of a poisoner. God damn, that's expensive.
Come back.
See, it doesn't tell you what disease that was just cured. It will tell you upon impact. It'll say you've contracted whatever. I guess I could have loaded up the previous video I recorded because this is recording so far is in 2 parts.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the bannered mare from Hulda.
I'm assuming I got Rockjoin.
Before my ma and Da
Or something like that.
I told them that one day I'd become the best trader in Skyrim. I met one of the caravan leaders, Madron. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done.
I'm guessing she actually meant Rasad because Madron doesn't travel this far out.
You do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. Help you get a fair bargain in the future?
Help you not get ripped off by Ubisoft?
Yeah, these Khajiit make a living traveling the roads and selling their wares. It's got to be tough. Skyrim's a hard enough land when you've got a roof over your head. Worst thing is, nobody wants them in the cities. Nobody trusts them. Reputation, mostly. A lot of Khajiit turn to smuggling and thievery to get by. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is. About the same as everyone else. They're the catfolk of Elsewhere. Great warriors, good traders. Way I hear it, Elsewhere ain't nothing like Skyrim. It's got tropical forests and dusty badlands. It sounds awful.
It's funny because if you've played the Elsewhere DLC for ESO, that's exactly what northern and southern Elsewhere look like.
Yes, Housecarl. We'll leave immediately.
It's just us against the dragon? Is that it?
I can't afford to send anyone else, and we don't know where the dragon is. Your main job will be to keep an eye out and get the people to safety if the town is attacked. I don't expect the 3 of you to fight off a dragon by yourselves, but I do expect you to do your duty.
Of course. We'll keep Riverwood safe. You can count on it. Let's move out. Time's a wasting.
That's a nice little cutscene. I like little things like that that have, like, you know, that add to the continuity of the franchise. Now, remember, no cheats means I don't have no fall damage ring, no cheat stamina ring, none of that. Halted stream camp, where the hell is that at? Why isn't there an arrow pointing to it? That's really weird. So that other recording I was doing that was going to replace, well, not so much replace, it was going to pick up where I had left off, because I was just supposed to train up to and get my character stats to how I had them when I was still playing with that Caves of Morrowind mod. And see, I'm very, like, picky being on the spectrum that I am. If I decide I don't like something or want it anymore, I don't want it in my game, because I know it's going to interfere with things, or I'm just, even if it doesn't interfere with anything, I'm just going to be, like, really obsessive compulsive about it, like it's going to bug me until it's gone. And of course, you can't really remove a mod of that scope, like mid-save, mid-game, you can't, so obviously I deleted, started new. And that new one was supposed to pick up where I left off.
Space, where are we going? We're going to space? Yeah, let's go to space.
However, I kind of ended up going, like, way further, like, as far as my leveling is concerned. I ended up over-leveling a bit. I ended up over-leveling. I think I got to, like, level 30 or something, and that character was only, like, level 17 or 20 something. I can't really remember. But I remember I filmed a video showcasing all of the perks. You know, just for personal, like, reference, all the perks and stats that I had so that I could, you know, replicate that. And it came to a point where I over-leveled. That's not getting open. I over-leveled, and then the first update... I'm not blaming anything on the update, because my game, that save, was that reality. It was already kind of, like, screwed up. It was my fault anyway. And so I figured, well, this is a prime opportunity to get rid of the load screen, the Dova Bear loading screen, because that's no longer compatible. And then I could get rid of the Quality World map, because that causes crashes. Look, we've been playing for about 2 hours now, almost no crashes. Knock on wood. So, so I just bit the bullet, and I was like, you know what, like, and I was going to do this load order before today's update, and honestly, it doesn't matter, because I noticed immediately. I was skeptical, because checking the load order, it's like, wait a minute, why is this still where it's... I wasn't sure if these things were where they were supposed to be, which is why I was skeptical, so I booted up this video I recorded of my load order, and I was like, sure enough, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. This second update did what it said it was supposed to do. So I was like, you know what, this is the prime time for me to start over with Autumnal Dunmer, and remove the mods that I don't need. It's funny how many male Bosmers sound like that. But it's an improvement from, hi, how are you? I don't want to talk about it. Goodbye. Bye. Oh, these guys have absolutely nothing worth looting. I mean, he at least has some gold. Axe. Where's that Khajiit at that I killed? See, Skyrim doesn't have a mechanism like etiquette and Daggerfall, but also entering a dungeon unsheathed will also add to your etiquette score of certain enemies turning non-hostile. Of taming them, or pacifying, I guess is the right word. And there's things like learning Impish, learning Orcish, learning whatever, which all that stuff was lost and forgotten with Daggerfall. Time to be a stealth archer. Is someone there? Why would I cry? You're the one that's dead. Am I not using that steel sword? I forgot that steel sword is the same as Imperial sword. And I like the runes and everything on the Imperial sword better. I don't think there's really anything more comfy than cozying up and playing Skyrim on a cold winter night with nowhere to go. It's too cold outside. There's snow and ice as far as the eye can see. So you're going to stay in anyway. Why not just play Skyrim? Right? And that applies. That very much applies to me right now. Ah, there we go. A random item with an enchantment. I can't remember if Disaster... Oh no, that's not a... That is not a Morrowind book. We are also collecting books surrounding the lore of Morrowind, because this character, his whole character surrounding him is appreciating his life as a Dunmer, his family history, his culture, and all that. So you might be saying, so basically the whole point of him is that he's glad he's a Dunmer, and the answer to that would be yes. I think it's hilarious how I think it's really funny how that thing fell and caused the fire, and it kills this Dunmer chick, and we have this innate kind of like resistance to fire. So out of all of them, she should have been the one to be like, what? And like running up here after me, but no. That to me is just really funny. So we've officially been playing for 2 hours. Just a little over 2 hours. 2 hours and 11 minutes. And I wanted this reintroduction of the Autumnal Dunmer character to be a bit longer. For people to be reacclimated to him, I guess. People who were watching the original Autumnal Dunmer run, which there wasn't that many videos in it compared to like my Dwemerologist, but there were a few odd. Every other odd numbered video would have like a bunch of views. So people were watching, they just weren't really saying much. I'm home.
Can't hide from me.
And I think the chest there that spawns in the real bandit leader is an adept level lock, so I don't think that we'll be opening it. Oh, it's another one of those Creation Club quests. Yeah, it's an adept level lock. Skooma! Yes! Hell yeah! Now the party's really begun. Fucking cast iron pot, man. He keeps wanting to join me on my adventure, and I'm just like, no. Does this horse count as stolen if I take it? What the hell? The thieves stole it in the first place. Okay. Sometimes I get confused looking at the map on here, or I guess more accurately the compass, because I'm playing with the extra map markers mod, which shows the hidden unmarked locations, so you can discover them. And it throws me off because there are things, like more things around this area from what I remember in vanilla Skyrim, especially for Skyrim for console. Then I have to remember I'm playing Skyrim for console with mods, so it's a different animal. Now, we are going to see some glitches with the steel Nordic armor, or whatever it's called, the Nordic steel, whatever, with the gauntlets dragging behind the NPCs. There's nothing I can do about that. I had made a fix for it. Well, I didn't make the fix. All I did was port it to Xbox. And it no longer works as of the last patch, the last update. So there's really no point, in my opinion. It's just taking up another spot in my load order. So we're now level 3. Gonna do health. Yeah, this character is very much magically inclined. I basically use magic to keep enemies at bay, and if they like charge through that, I will strike at them with my weapon. Ugh. I'm trying to get myself comfortable. This new chair is just not doing it for me. I haven't decided if I want to do Blackreach, because I think it's been a while since I did it, because it was in the Dwemerologist playthrough, but it wasn't that long ago. It's been a while, but it hasn't been like, it was only last year. Like, I think it was like, probably August or September when I recorded that. And I really fucking hate Blackreach. Like, it is my least favorite place in Skyrim because of all the Dwemer fuckery and the Falmer and all that shit. So I might bypass Blackreach just to get the Elder Scroll that's needed. Because there's an Elder Scroll that's needed for the main quest. Oh, fuck. Oh shit, dude, I'm gonna die! Oh my god. I'm going to fucking die. No, don't you fucking reheal, you motherfucker. No, you go to hell, you die. You son of a bitch. I forgot how those things will fuck you up at earlier levels. This one not leave a corpse, or is it up in the sky or something? I think we're gonna do the main campaign on this one, because the Autumnal Dunmer character, unlike the Dwemerologist, outside of just really revering and respecting his culture as a Dunmer and Morrowind and all that, he does consider Skyrim his home, and he does have opinions about the political climate and this and that. So I think him joining the Empire would make more sense than him siding with the Stormcloaks. For one, he's too young to know of Dagoth or to have been around when Dagoth you know, was really a threat or a thing or anything. trees. That's from a, I'm trying to remember, not Extudo, but a, another very talented mod author. Where the fuck do you think you're going? Because I mentioned it, and I don't want to... I don't want to not name drop. Let's see. Fourth Unknown. Somehow I knew I knew the name, but it just wasn't coming to me. Fourth Unknown. Chances are many of you who, if you play Skyrim, you're also using their mods. Because it just makes the game look new. It still makes it look and feel like Skyrim, but it just makes it feel like it's refreshed, like updated. Let me tell you though, my life as a modder has certainly... I could write chapters on it. When I first started modding, which obviously was for PC because we didn't have Skyrim on console yet with mods. It was Skyrim Legendary Edition because Special Edition wasn't out yet. And I was the type of person that didn't understand load order because I was new to it. Didn't understand load limits, like, okay, you can only have 150 out of 150 or 255 out of 255. I would see a new mod and just go, oh, that looks cool, download. Oh, that looks cool, download. So I have like the infamous Fire Giants mod, which takes the Fire Giants from the Monster mod and has them scattered throughout. Like, I think they were in like Falkreath Hold is where I found them. And there's just lots of older mods that had like dirty edits and stuff. I had the Unicorn mod, and this obviously this was before Creation Kit, so it wasn't the Creation Kit Unicorn mod. It was just a standalone thing based off of Oblivion. I did not use any of the shit posts, like the joke mods, like replacing dragons with trains or macho dragons. No, I never used any of that. But I did try out Monster Mod. I did try out a couple of things, and now I'm the type of modder now where I don't use the anime stuff. I give, like, you know, Conjure Bound Katana a pass because they do have Daedric katanas in the lore, and because katanas are already in the base game. They're already in the game ever since, like, Arena, I think, so it's not against the lore, I don't think. You know, it's not like you're conjuring Ichigo's fucking, you know, sword from Bleach. Where the hell am I? I tried a few different other ones because I would love to make the world of Skyrim more populated and like the landscape have more things you can encounter like in ESO, but not make the game like ESO, if that makes sense. And there's a few, like, you know, ESO imports is the one that adds dungeons and enemies and things like that. And this is the entrance to Erkingfan. Well, not quite the entrance. This is outside, just on the grounds. And a lot of those mods, like the ESO ones, I've found kind of have problems. Like I mean, I don't think there's very many mods that fit seamlessly into Skyrim. But those ones definitely don't fit in seamlessly. I think there's another one called Longer Dungeons or Tougher Dungeons. And I like the concept, but the problem is that it changes too many important things like activators and, you know, when you're wanting to get the fuck out of the first dungeon, which would be Bleak Falls Barrow, and it's like... See, my thing would be make the start of the game, get rid of fucking Helgen, right? Get rid of that. And have you start out either in the abandoned prison or something similar, but have it, like, open up into Bleak Falls Barrow or something like Bleak Falls Barrow, because everybody says, oh, Bleak Falls Barrow is the tutorial dungeon. It's the first dungeon. Technically, Helgen is a tutorial dungeon because it is a dungeon and a fort, and you basically are learning how to do all of the game mechanics then and there. I would love it to be more like a Daggerfall or Oblivion, where you start out, like, you know, in a prison. You wake up, it's abandoned for whatever reason. People have left. People have died. And, who knows how you survived. Maybe you got stuck in there. Maybe you got trapped in there. Lured in there and then trapped. Maybe you survived off of eating rats and cockroaches while everyone else died and withered away into skeletons. Who knows? And then you make your way through, and then you enter into this dungeon area, and then you stumble upon, like, the Dragon Stone and the Golden Claw, and you can do it that way. Of course, if you didn't find them, you can always backtrack and go back later. I'm going to go get a drink real quick. Yeah, so in my opinion, that would be the perfect dungeon, starter dungeon, like in Daggerfall and Oblivion. Morrowind didn't have that. You start off Morrowind and you get dumped off right there into Seyda-Neen. I mean, sure, you're a prisoner, but you don't get treated like a prisoner. You don't do any time in a cell. You're not escaping from a cell. Morrowind really is. That and Daggerfall really are the perfect beginnings, you know? Like every game, oh, you're a prisoner for some reason. Come on, bitch. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way that other wolf died. He somehow Wile E. Coyote'd his way all the way over here, escaped, and swapped places with his friend, who has full health. I don't like goats. They're annoying. They're a nuisance. I remember doing the Ironbind Barrow quest once, years ago. Because I just wanted to complete as much content as I could. Or whatever. Or I stumbled upon it and I was curious to see, you know, where it would take me. And it's one of those little quests that's packed with a dungeon that really kind of surprised me, because just the outcome of it was very kind of tragic. If I remember.
You picked a bad time to get lost, friend.
Come on, bitch. Where's the corpse at? I don't know if I've ever done Silverdrift Lair, though. These goddamn bandits are always resorting to, like, cannibalism. I think they're just eager. They'll just do it on a whim. No matter how much food or supplies they've got, they'll just... Oh, cannibalism? Yeah, that sounds good. So note, this character is only level 3. If I was playing normally, meaning there was no conduct, I could use whatever mods, cheats, exploits, I would easily be level 20 by now. Easily, and I would be encountering that fucking Ort to initiate the Dawn Guard content. But it is a very slow, diligent, sometimes tedious journey to the top to get to where you want to be, or where I want to be, in my case. Oh, these are like the werewolf hunters. Yeah, these people are fucking insane. They're just regular bandits. What was that you just said? I won't get the best of you, and now you're a corpse on the ground. So it kind of looks like I did get the best of you. No, not to be pedantic here or anything, but it really looks like I did, in fact, get the best of you. I swear to God, diet soda is the nastiest shit ever. That was one butt ugly orc. I can't remember if I set restrictions on armor or not. I don't think that I did for this playthrough. I know for the Dwemerologist, I definitely had. That was also a conduct run. I wouldn't be wearing any armor above Dwemer, because that was the best that character wanted anyway. So, one time I went to Hamar's Shame to clear it out before the quest. That was fun. I got bitten. Every playthrough of Autumnal Dunmer, I end up contracting vampire AIDS. Vampire syphilis, or whatever you want to call it. And I always usually end up, like, curing it, because, I don't know, I just don't really see any need of becoming a vampire right now. I guess if I do contract it, I'll keep it. I'll be a vampire. I mean, that'll only add on to more of the, I'm not sure how the three Good Daedra feel about vampirism, though. Because I totally made my decision about the Dark Brotherhood. I know Azura gives you a quest in Oblivion to wipe out her followers that became vampires, but that was more like a thing of, like, an act of mercy. If your character lives in a cave with some spiders, that might not be a problem. See, I've been hesitant to become a vampire because of Dunmer society. Here's the thing. It's a fucking game. I have to invoke the rules of it's a fucking game of reality once in a while. And people don't really treat you that much differently unless you bare your fangs and attack them. Then they're like, vampire, vampire, burn him, kill the vampire. Other than that, they treat you like a regular... What the fuck? There was a frostbite spider, and now it's gone. Oh, she killed it.
How can I assist? Take a look.
Well, that was helpful. I have no idea what that staff is supposed to do, by the way. All right, thank you.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
Ah, she killed both of them. Cool. I thought I was going crazy. Like, wait, I heard the frostbite spider noise that it makes, that disgusting squishy sound, and I saw the red dot in the compass, and then now it's gone. The nice cat lady killed it for us.
Come along, no more stops. We need to find our way to solitude.
Those people are assholes, by the way. I also had Inigo on my Dwemerologist playthrough. He's also on this one, but I'm not using him for this quest or for this playthrough as of yet. I haven't really a need for him. This is a rare sight, everybody. The Hall of the Vigilant intact. See, it's been over 2 hours. I'm going to stop this recording and start our third recording here.